With a nice cup of tea at your desk, today you're visiting the ancient garden of the Eastern Palace, Toin, in the Japanese city of Nara. You heard the story of its comma-shaped island in the previous movie and have spotted a cluster of stones close to the curved bridge behind the pavilion. Heading toward the bridge to have a closer look at it, you probably see it as an expression of a natural spot without any other meaning. But no, these stones were not found there like this. Neither were they taken from the nearby and casually piled up for a natural look at the place. They were carefully chosen and arranged to express ideas. One idea comes from India. This is the story of Mount Meru, Shumisen in Japanese, the center of the Buddhist universe. Buddhist doctrine has two main streams. One is Hinayana, the small vehicle, which deals with our concrete universe, and the Buddha Shakyamuni, and the other is Mahayana, the greater vehicle, which takes a much larger cosmological perspective. According to Mahayana Buddhism, a universe is not eternal. Precisely one kalpa, amounting to many billions of years after its birth, a universe comes to an end, and a new one is born. The new universe is exactly like the many before it, with a very definite structure. In its middle rises high to the skies the colossal Mount Meru. A plenitude of deities, Deva and Devi in Sanskrit, inhabit the divine mountain. They abide in vast palaces and drink sweet dew. 4 heavenly kings guard the 4 directions of Mount Meru, guard the universe. The god of the sun, Surya, and the god of the moon, Chandra, ride their chariots around it. The lord of the Devas, Indra, occupies the top of the mountain, and above him spreads Brahmaloka, the world of Brahma. In the ancient Hindu beliefs of India, 4-faced Brahma was not only the creator of the world, but the wisest among all gods as well. The 4 Veda texts, the classics of Hindu philosophy, were believed to have each come out of one of his 4 mouths. Brahma is obviously related to the even more ancient word Brahman, signifying key concepts such as the creative, basic principle of the universe and the ultimate reality, the absolute truth. Brahma's heaven is topped by dhyana, or channa in Chinese and zenjo in Japanese, the 4 realms of meditation training, where one can get rid of any form in order to be allowed to the formless realm above and to become an arhat. And over the formless realm spread magnificent paradises, the pure lands of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. Mount Meru is surrounded by 7 chains of golden mountains, with 7 fragrant seas between each 2 chains. And all this universe is encircled by a chain of iron mountains. Between this last mountain range and the 7th golden mountain spreads a sea with salty water. 4 islands float in that sea. They differ in shape and in size, as well as in the lifespan of their inhabitants. On one of the islands, one lives for 500 years, on another for 700, while on the 3rd island, life lasts for a whole 1,000 years. But the 4th island is a very interesting place. At the beginning of the universe, the life of its inhabitants is endlessly long. Yet, as the end of the universe approaches, lifespan diminishes, little by little, until it gets very short. This instability of lifespan makes those living on this island feel everything very deeply. In addition, it is under this island that opens its gates the scary underworld where the souls of the unworthy descend. This island is a very special place because when a lifespan becomes short, a Buddha appears on it to help the people accept their fate. Only one Buddha during one kalpa of time, during one universe. On this island only. This island is our world. The Buddha of our universe is Shakyamuni. So here in front of your eyes is probably the majestic Mount Meru, with the chains of mountains around it embodied in stones. This is one possible reading of the stone arrangement, but it is not the only one. It might also be an interpretation of a Chinese legend. We can see this pile of stones as the rocky bay Araiso mentioned in some early Japanese poems. The 8th century court poet Otomo no Yakamochi, for example, lamented the death of his younger brother with the words, "Had I known that destiny of yours, I would have shown you the breakers on the edged rocks in the shallows of the sea by the Koshi shores." The 12th century Japanese manual on garden building, Sakuteiki, teaches that one should arrange some edged or jutting stones in one part of the bank in order to suggest a rough bay, a raiso, and create the image of an ocean. But why should such sea rocks be sung about in poems and depicted in gardens? We can try to unfold the mystery of their meaning, jumping over to a later period when a pattern bearing the same name would appear on the precious silk imported from China or on beautiful earthenware. That pattern consisted of waves and sometimes stones at the background of fish. Miho Museum in Otsu City too displays a brush rock from the 17th century said to represent a rough coast araiso. It features an edge-topped mountain range and waves and a fish beneath. All these representations speak of the Chinese legend of the wave mountain carp. The story goes that the carp which succeeds to jump over the waterfall called Dragon Gate transforms into a dragon. The carp banners swimming with the wind on the 5th of May during the Festival of Boys in Japan come exactly from that legend and are a symbol of persistence and success. In China, this legend was also related with the success in the exams for governmental jobs, hence the auspicious brush rock. This very legend is said to be referred to with the expression araiso, rough coast, or rough bay in Japan. Logically, Otomo no Yakamochi probably wanted to show his brother the symbol of tenacity, as he wanted to inspire him fight for his life. The interesting part is that there is actually a place in China called Dragon Gate. It is in Hunan province where the Yellow River passes through a long narrow opening between the banks. So Dragon Gate is not a waterfall, but there is a huge layered waterfall not far from its place, the Hoko waterfall. Stones called demon rocks or guishi in Chinese show here and there under the falling waters, glittering in the sunshine and reminding of jumping fish. It might be these stones that are related with the carp jumping upstream. The first Japanese who heard the story probably associated it with the rocky bays full of fish they often saw in their homeland. And also, as the image of an ocean in a garden, not to forget, was to convey rather the idea of the ocean around the islands of Taoist immortals, the rough coast Araiso was associated with the rocky sea stacks and islets the unlucky boats stumbled into when looking for the mysterious islands. That is how the imagination of the Japanese gave new form and interpretation of the ancient Chinese legend. Such stories could have inspired the careful arrangement of jutting stones at one part of the pond banks, like this one here at Toin Garden. I hope your eyes have opened now to see in it more than a cluster of natural rocks. The whole universe rises in front of your eyes, or determined fish jump up to greatness, or misty seas spread with rocks and islets and skeletons of boats, while the mirage of mysterious island shows in the distance. Keep dreaming, and when you've had enough of it, when you feel relaxed and ready for new stories, we will go further in our walk, because the little Towain garden has one more secret to reveal. Be well and safe.